Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Chicago. And today our question comes to us from Sephirothchild. And Sephirothchild asks a question that we've dealt with on the vlog before, but which I feel bears repeating, and that is whether one can be both a Christian and a Wiccan at the same time. And the answer to this question really relies upon what you consider to be Christian. And you must also understand that, as with most things, there's not an answer that will fit all traditions and backgrounds, and I'm giving you the answer of my tradition, which is the Correllian tradition. And we are not an exclusive tradition. We believe that you can belong to pretty much any other religion and still be Correllian, and expand rather than change your path. So we would say that yes, you can be both a Christian and a Wiccan, depending on what you mean by Christian. If what you mean by Christian is things like love your neighbor and do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and this sort of Christianity, it's completely compatible. If what you mean by Christian is having Jesus as your personal form of deity, even that is really compatible. Or having Mother Mary as your form of goddess. I certainly know Wiccans who do that. If what you mean by Christianity, on the other hand, is all about sin and heaven and hell and ideas of damnation, those things really aren't compatible. And so it really kind of depends on how you view Christianity and what you mean by the term. So I would say you'd have to really kind of feel it out for yourself and see whether they are compatible for you. As a tradition, unless it's somehow disruptive, we don't have an issue with it. So I hope that answers your question. And, I would go so far as to say, and have said, that all of the world's religions at their core are about the same things, and say and believe the same things. It's the outer levels that tend to be different, the window dressing, if you would. What's at the center usually tends to be pretty much the same, because spiritual people everywhere are spiritual. And spirituality everywhere is spirituality. It has an objective reality, an objective existence of its own. So whether you're coming at it as a pagan or a Christian or a Muslim or a Jewish person, what you find in the end is going to be the same, because it is the same. It's how you express it, it's how you approach it that is different. And that inner truth is not out in the world somewhere, it's in your own heart. And so we would say that the outer forms in the end really are just window dressing. They're there to help us to find the truth that's already in our heart. Unfortunately, sometimes they hinder us. And therefore it's necessary for us to make our own path and to look for those things that help us to better understand spirit, whether they're necessarily the things that are common in our cultures or not. So I hope that answers your question. I want to remind everyone that you can also join me for Chancellor's Chat Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern at the Old Witch School class site chat room, and also Thursday nights for the Pagan Pundit on Pagans Tonight Radio, again at 9 p.m. Central and 10 p.m. Eastern, where I take questions from listeners and people in the chat room and discuss the same things we discuss here in the vlog, except in an hour-long format. So consider joining in for that and many other interesting things we do. And until next time, may you blessed be.